Hello everyone, welcome to Life Around Science. In this video, we are going to see the course structure of different physics courses at IIT Bombay. So this could be particularly useful for people who are pursuing physics, either bachelor's or master's. So I've got the course book of the physics department. This is for the year 2020-2021. So there could be slight changes, but more or less it would be similar. These are the minimum credit requirements for different courses of physics department. So as you can see, the offered courses are BTech, BTech with honors. Then you can do minors. Then there is BTech, MTech, integrated MSc, and MSc courses. MSc with honors is not yet approved, and of course PhD. So these are the minimum number of credits you need to complete in order to get the degree. Let's go ahead. Since I have done MSc Physics, I will show you the course structure of MSc Physics in a bit detail. So this was the first year, first semester. As you can see, there are 6 courses, and these are the corresponding credits of those courses, which are not uniform. So you can read credits as 3108. So 8 is the last digit, is the number of credits. The first number denotes the number of hours of lectures in a week of that particular course. The second number indicates number of hours of tutorial or problem solving which are given for that particular course, and third digit tells the number of hours of lab work for that course. So as you can see, there are 2 lab courses. In programming lab, there is 1 hour of lecture and 3 hours of programming work. Electronics lab, there are 3 hours of lab work. And other courses you can read it 3 hours of coursework and 1 tutorial, 1 hour of tutorial. That makes 8 credits. So as you can see, all the courses in the first semester are core courses, rather all in the first year are core courses. There are no electives in the first year, and these are all are basic courses. For example, which every physics student should know. The classical mechanics covers Lagrangian and Hamiltonian mechanics and rigid body and a bit of field theory. Quantum mechanics is divided into 1 and 2, which covers the complete theory of quantum mechanics and a bit of applied quantum mechanics. MMP 1 covered linear vector spaces and complex analysis. Electronics is a basic electronics lab. If you have done one in bachelor's, it would be more or less same, but it was taught very well in a very good manner, so it was really beneficial, just like the electronics lab, which is one of the best labs I have attended so far. And programming lab, we had Python and Fortran both, but it changes year to year, so they are still making changes, and let's see what they settle on. So this is the second semester. Again, all are core courses, no electives. This is statistical physics and thermodynamics. Quantum 2, MMP 2 had basically differential equations. Then you have introduction to condensed matter physics, and EMT is again divided into 1 and 2, which is again basically the complete electromagnetic theory. And these are the amount of credits corresponding to these courses. Then we have the second year, first semester. As you can see, now we get a bit of freedom. So there are 3 core courses: atomic and molecular physics, which covers fine structure and hyperfine structure and molecular spectra. Nuclear and particle physics mainly focuses on nuclear physics itself. And then there is a lab. Because of COVID, lab was postponed, but they do have it in their course. Then you have 2 departmental electives. You have to take 2 courses from physics department which can come under electives. And the third, as you can see, you can do either a project. This is for a 1 semester period, or you can take an elective in place of that. This is one of the freedom you get in IIT Bombay, because most of the colleges don't offer this. If you don't want to do a project, you get an option of taking an elective. Obviously, over and above these total credits, you can always take more courses. You can either audit them or take them as credit, and you can take as many as you want as long as you can keep up with them. So, and this is the last semester. As you can see, we have EMT 2. Light matter interaction is more about, it covers classical as well as quantum optics and the theory of interaction between the matter and the radiation. And then you have 1 more lab. Again, similar to the third semester, you can get to choose 2 electives, and you again have an option of project or elective. It's all up to you. So talking about project, if you seriously want to do a master thesis, then you can take both these semesters as project and then continue your same work for an entire year. You can also choose to do project in the third semester and not do in the fourth semester, or the other way around, or you can also choose not to do project at all. It's all up to you. And this completes your 145 credits, and you can also take some extra courses if you want. Now this is the list of electives which you can take in the odd semester, which for the case of MSc is the third semester. As you can see, they have a lot of electives available, and most of them are offered every year. It might happen that some of the electives run in the same time slot, so you might not be able to take them, but usually most of them are available and you can choose among them. As I had said earlier, I had taken extra electives in place of a project. So as you can see, we have that would add up to 3 electives. So I could choose more electives because I wanted to explore more and create a theoretical base. So these are the electives that were offered. I had taken Quantum Mechanics 3, which was relativistic quantum mechanics, which I think is again kind of a core physics course which everyone should go through, because so it comes under pretty fundamental physics, special relativity and quantum mechanics. And it is useful in many areas of physics, be it high energy, condensed matter, or astrophysics. Then you have these other electives also. I had also taken theoretical condensed matter physics, which was a good one. And I had taken group theory as well as nonlinear dynamics. So I had actually taken 4 electives. As I said, you can always take more courses over and above this, these minimum requirements. So I had taken these 4. And let's see the elective for the 4th semester. We have got many more electives in this semester and a lot of variety. As you can see that there are many courses in nanomaterials and condensed matter, like thin film, soft matter physics, nanomaterials, nanostructures, physics of nanostructures and nanoscale devices. Then you have nanoscale quantum transport, nano devices, magnetism and superconductivity. So if anyone is interested in condensed matter, so you have a lot of options here. This is again a good option, quantum information computing, which is an upcoming field and could really scale up in the coming years. So the electives that I had taken was elementary particle physics, because the nuclear and particle physics was just very basic particle physics. This went into the proper theory of particle physics. Then I had taken general theory of relativity. Even this quantum mechanics course, I had not taken this course, but I feel it is a very basic course, like a core course, because it covers all the quantum mechanics, the classical field theory, and the fluid equations all come under quantum mechanics. So I think it is something that everyone should anyway know. Further, I had taken special topics in elementary particle physics because I was also liking particle physics, and this was basically QFT. This was basically the quantum field theory part of the particle physics, so which again I was interested in. Above this, I had also taken one more course from the aerospace department. You can always take courses from other departments, and I had taken one simulation course. It was about simulation of fluids using particle methods, and it was offered under aerospace department. So I had taken that course also. So again, I had done an extra course over here and an extra course in the last semester as well. So this is the course structure of MSc Physics. Similarly, you have the course, this contains the course structure for BTech Engineering Physics. And it is year and semester wise again. So this was the course structure that we saw. So you might want to see what are the course contents of each of the courses, which is given down below. I won't go through it completely because it's a lot, but I will put the link to this course book down in the description, so you can just peruse the document and see what are topics are covered, what are the reference book for different courses. So this is a useful information for everyone. And as you can see, they have given the course structure for all the courses, what all do they cover. So I will give the link of this PDF file down in the description, so you can benefit from it. And this also has the course structure and course contents of BTech courses, so you can check it out. So this is useful for people who are thinking of joining and applying here for physics department at IITB. Also, this is useful for people who are not thinking of applying and they are in other colleges. Even when I think for myself, right from BSc, I used to see syllabi of different institutes, what they study, what are the courses they offer, what are the contents of those courses. So I know what content people are reading and what are we supposed to know by that level. So even if you're not here, you're pursuing it in some other university, it is always helpful to see what people from IT are learning and what is their course structure. And if possible, you can also stick to this course. So if you think that you are not studying the same level, then you can always self-study. So if you know the course structure, you can always read the corresponding stuff and stay updated. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.